Like, share, and subscribe. Welcome to Grandpa Sees the Blinking. And yes, we're going to talk a little bit about the importance of China in connection with Tesla. And I think you'll find it very interesting. Okay, one thing, I'll go through these charts here. 5 minute chart. Well, here, we had a high today of 238.96, a low of 232.04. It's getting close to Grandma's 227. Yes, Grandma's going to get her 227. We already knew that. We just didn't know 268.77 was coming first. We closed at 234.96, and currently we're at about 234.36. So she's down 40-50 cents after hours. Hey, before I forget, I'll go through this stuff here later, but shorting after hours 280, right at our number 280. 100 shares of blinking probably a couple times a minute. They're adding to it. Oh boy, that's a strong sign for the future going up. The problem we got is after hours, they're down at $158 buying shares. 100 to blink, blinking 1 or 2 times a minute. And so they're buying at 158, and that tells Grandpa we're going to probably see 101.07. Grandpa's funny. Okay, so, and I'll go through my charts here, but I got a few points I want to make. Check out Ray Dalio, D-A-L-I-O. He talks about the changing world order, the new world order, and throughout the course of history, all the way back to the Romans and probably beyond that, there's been a dominant order in the world, the leader of the world, so to speak. And the leader of the world has control of the reserve currency. The reserve currency is what we have in the USA right now, and we've had it for several hundred years or more. And, well, we've had it since we took it over from the British after World War II. So that's when we got, and usually the head of the world order, the head guy on the block in the world, they last about 250 years on average. And then there's about a 20-year transition period in between. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a war between the one coming up and the one going down, but it usually is a war. The one that's had it doesn't want to give it up. The political leaders don't want to give up having the control, and so they sacrifice their people and have a war. And currently in our world, and this has to do with the price of stocks, and I'll point that out because it's a huge indication of where your stocks are going to go. So pay close attention to this. But right now, China is on the uptrend, and they're going straight up. If you look at the graphs, China is on their way up, and the USA is on their way down. And are we going to go to war? I don't know. I'm hoping that we just surrender. And but you know, China. I got China on here because Tesla's got their plant in Singapore, and Elon's on both sides here. He's got his plant over in the USA in Austin, and he's got one in Singapore, and they're both doing very well, and I think they'll both continue to do very well. uh, for the future. And, will Grandpa live long enough to see the Chinese in control here in this country? I don't think so. I think Grandpa will be gone. But you never know. I might still be here because Grandma's been feeding me a lot of oatmeal. Um, so let's go back to the gold standard. Okay, there's been a number of times that the United States has printed money, and whenever the United States or any country that's the reserve power, the head of the world order, prints a lot of money, stocks skyrocket. In 1971, Nixon, everybody was trying to trade their money in for real gold, and we were running out of gold in the United States. So Nixon went on TV, said he was going to stop these bad guys from doing that, and they no longer could exchange their dollar bills for gold. And so what happened? The next day, stocks rose 25% on average. 25% raise because there was more money now, and the value of the dollar was devalued, and thus stocks, there was way more dollars because they just printed and printed like crazy. Same thing happened during COVID. You would expect the stock market to fall. They're printing money for COVID and giving everybody in America and every family money, and they're printing like they're going crazy, and they do that to stay in power. But it has the effect on the stock market is the stock market goes up, and that's exactly what happened. Back in 1933 with Roosevelt in the Great Depression time, he broke the gold standard and couldn't trade your money. He made it where you couldn't trade your currency for gold, and the effect of it was stocks skyrocket. Okay, and same thing over and over. 2007, 2008 with the real estate bust. They printed money like they were going insane to get out of their little dilemma, and stocks skyrocketed. So pay attention to that kind of stuff. Grandpa does. The reserve currency. Who controls the reserve currency? Controls the world. And like I say, China is gained on us exponentially, very fast, and they're on their way up, and we've been in decline for quite a while. And can we pull out of this if our politicians do what's best for our country instead of what we've been getting? Absolutely. We can pull out of this. But will they do the right thing? It sure hasn't been looking like they will. I just don't know. But as far as Tesla goes, it's a buying opportunity. Grandpa, not political advice, not financial advice, but Grandpa's advice only, whatever that's worth. I believe Tesla's going to, in the next 5 years, to 3,000, 5,000, 7,000. I really think it's going to be about $5,000 a share. If you have reverse splits or whatever, it's the same number. You just got more shares. You're not going to lose nothing. And if they do a reverse split, you just get 3 for 1 usually, or whatever they decide to do. Because they want to keep the price of shares in $300-400 range, 200, not less than 200 anyway, and not in the four digits, so that more people can afford to buy them. So we're going. I believe we're going to 5,000 in the next 5 years or so here, and if not 7,000, get some shares. It won't matter if you paid $101.07 to be exact, 200 or 250 or 300. It ain't gonna matter a whole lot. Just add some each month. Grandpa does. And I piddle around and I sell a few here and there, and so does Grandma. And we rebuy for less. And that's fine. Just don't put all your eggs in one basket, as far as don't sell them all, because you might end up having to buy them back for $100 more than you sold them for. And people don't tend to do that. And then when it's $5,000, you won't have any shares. And that's a sad situation. You don't want to be there. Yeah, so I think Elon being on good terms with China and the U.S. at the same time is probably okay. And hopefully they can divert this thing for a long time to come. But you go back, you had the Dutch. They were the reserve currency. They held it. The British took it from them. We took it from the British. And you can go all the way back and watch the programs. There's about 10 of them. And all the way back to the Romans and on their way through, And it's the same story over and over. Around 200, 250 years, they hold it. About a 20-year transition period between with the war and or negotiations sometimes, and but usually it's a war. And well, we got 2 wars going on right now. The way we fight wars now is pretty bizarre, but the markets will all be functional. Yeah, they might shut down for a week or 2 or redo some stuff, but who knows? Just get your Tesla shares while you still can. And let's see. Pre-market, they were up at 286, shorting times 2. These are some good signs for going up. But also pre-market, they were at 191 times 2 buying. 191. That's more than 158. Get it? Yeah, I get it. Okay, so 5-minute. We ran sideways from 10:30 a.m. in a $2.50 range. That's what we did. She's going to snap like a rubber band whenever it gets around to it. Let's look at the daily. She's heading towards our 100-day moving average. That's at 230.5. And Grandpa thinks Grandma's going to get her 227. As long as we don't go below 228, I should say close below 228, we're still technically in our uptrend. So we need Grandma, it needs to bounce down, give Grandma her fill at 227, reverse, close at 228 or above, and we're golden, and off to the races we go. That's Grandpa's new song he's singing. Who knows what'll really happen? I do not know. All I know is we got 284 up here. This is the weekly. 284 on the top end. We got substance on the 11th, which is coming up in 2 days. 280, our place of substance where they've got gazillions of shorts waiting to be activated, it will be 4 months old on the 11th. We've had substance there for 4 months. This is the oldest place of substance that we have. 184 is our place on the bottom of substance. But they've played around down here at 100, 107 to be exact, enough times now to make Grandpa really think that you'll see that number in the future. On the other hand, they were up at $500 shorting. They did a bunch at 340, 320, 310. She's going there. You'll see all of the above. But these two yellow lines, the 284 and the 184, you're there. You will see them two numbers in your future. Grandpa just don't know which one for sure is coming first. I think 284 is coming first, but Grandpa could be wrong. Does Grandpa think he's wrong? No, but you just never know. You just don't know. They might go do 184 and then 284. I don't think so. We got our W here. It's still in effect. We have a sell signal in the weekly. But I think we're going to bounce off this line right here, probably in the 225, 227 area. And I think she's going to turn around and head north. I think that's about our worst case scenario. She could go 220, 222 and turn. The bottom line is we're going to be right around 220, 221. So it's hard to know exactly. And we're not going to know exactly. We just need to do smart stuff. Buy shares. Be smart and buy. Here's a monthly. We got our green candle. If this bus makes a green candle like this green candle, you'll be at 340. If this January candle. Grandpa thinks it's going to turn around at 269 for a little bit. And then head down and then back up in another candle. But Grandpa don't know for sure. All I know is if you find out your government's printing money and giving money away and being crazy, lots and lots of money, extra printing for whatever reasons, it's good for the stock market. The stock market goes up, 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 up. And keep that in mind. Watch this new world order, the changing world order. Ray Dalio. Very interesting, very informative. Then you'll know something like Grandpa does. Grandpa knows stuff. Wow. I only wish I was as good at trading as Grandma. Grandma really is good at trading. All good things are from the Lord, and Lord willing, Grandpa's going to do another live stream this evening and talk about something else. Where do I think it's going? Where do I think this thing's going? 227 on the bottom, very short term here in the next, probably this week. And we're going to have a battle at 255, 257 area when we get up trying to break back through our lines. But who knows? I don't even know anymore. I think we're going to see the 230. The whale alert's down at 230. I think they're going to break through that, give Grandma 227. That's what I think. On the high end, might see 240. Who knows? All I know is buy some shares. It's a buying opportunity. It's not going to matter what you paid. It's a buying opportunity. This thing is going to, Tesla has got it going on. They got robots. They got mega chargers. They got the charging stations all over the world and gaining. Full self-driving, the mega pack, everything. Each of them can be bigger than what they've already got going separately. Elon says Tesla's going to be bigger than the world's two other largest companies, Apple and Aramco, I believe it was. I said Google, but it's Aramco. The two largest. And Tesla alone is going to be bigger than them in the trillions and trillions. I think Elon's right. I think Elon knows something. Elon only figures we're going around $1,700 for 3 years from now. But Grandpa thinks Elon's selling himself short. I think we're going to 5,000. All good things are from the Lord. Lord willing, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.